Hello everyone, I'm Andrew from the Glaser Tutoring Company, and today I would like to teach you how to find the height of a cylinder if you know the volume and the radius. So in order to do this, in order to find the height from the radius and the volume, you need to know a relationship between those variables. Now the volume of a cylinder is simply defined as pi multiplied by the radius squared multiplied then by the height. Now if you're asked to find the height, what that means algebraically is that if you were to divide out the pi and the radius squared from both sides, you would realize that the height is basically just a function of the volume divided by pi times the radius squared. So in other words, if you knew these two things, the volume, which, oh wait a minute, we do, and the radius, oh wait a minute, which we do, then you can find the height. So what I'm basically going to do now is plug in the values. All right, so here's the value of the volume. So let's plug that into the numerator. Okay, boom. Well, that's going to overlap a little bit. It's not going to look as nice as I thought, but we'll just reorganize. Okay, and then you're going to take divide it now by pi, times then your radius value here, which is 2x plus 5 squared. Now what I'm going to look to do is start to simplify a couple of things if I can. So notice the pi's here will just cancel. All right, so you can just cancel them. And then what I want to do now is I want to square this term. So I'm going to set that up. All right, I'm going to set that up. So basically, instead of having the square there, I'm going to now multiply this by itself, because that's what squared means. So now when we do that, the numerator stays the same, right? The numerator should stay the same, so I'll just plug that in, except for the pi, right? There's no more pi. Oh, no more pi. That's kind of sad. Really could use some pi right now. Anyway. Don't mind me, just talking to myself. Then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 2x, we're going to FOIL this on out, because what I want to do is I want to get each term, I want to find the x cubed, or if there won't be an x cubed here, but what I'm trying to say is, like, I want to get it in the form of x cubed, x squared, x, and then constant. Or in other words, I want to get it in decreasing x order all the way down to a constant. So I have to FOIL this. So 2x times 2x is going to be a 4x squared. 2x times the 5 is going to be a 10x. 5 times the 2x is going to be another 10x, and then 5 times 5 is going to be a 25. So now what I'm going to do is combine these like terms because I realize that they're alike, right? The 10x and the 10x. So that's a positive 20x. And here we go. Now this is about recognizing some patterns. We can do this division, but we have to do it via long division. Okay, we cannot use synthetic division because this term down here has an x cubed. All right, if it didn't have this term here and it was just an x and a constant, then you can use synthetic division. But unfortunately, we can't do that now. So we have to do long division. Let's set that up. Bam. So basically now what we have is we take the numerator and we plug it on into the inside here of your long division symbol, and then the denominator goes in on the outside. So this is known as the divisor, and this is the dividend. So the idea here is that you're going to take the leading term of your divisor, and you're going to divide it into then the leading term of your dividend. So in other words, you're going to do 4x cubed over 4x squared. If you want more practice about long division, check out our channel in the pre-calc section under, I guess long division. We got like 50 videos out there. So the 4's would cancel, and then when you divide the x's by one another, right, that's just x that's left over. So plug that in on the top. I don't care where you put it, but you just plug it in on the top. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this term and multiply it now to each term of your divisor. So take the x and multiply it by the 4x squared, and that should become 4x cubed. And if done correctly, these two should definitely match. Then you're going to take the x and multiply it by the 20x, so that becomes plus 20x squared. And then x times the 25 is going to be plus 25x. Then you can add a 0 out here if you want to, so that there's another term underneath that one. But if you notice, what I'm trying to do is line up the corresponding terms. Then what you're going to do is you're going to subtract this thing. Okay. Now the easy way to do it is to just change the sign then of each of these terms on the inside. All right. So if they're positive, make them negative. Which, since they're all positive, you're just going to make them all negative. You can change the sign of the 0 too, but it really doesn't matter because subtracting or adding 0 doesn't do anything. But, you know, if you want to be consistent, oh, I didn't mean to get rid of the 0. If you want to be consistent, that's what you do. Now what you can do is get rid of the parentheses and that negative sign, and then just now do the math. These should cancel. They should always cancel if done correctly. then you're going to add these on up, right? So negative 20 minus negative 20 plus a 12, right, is going to be now a negative 8. Okay, so negative 8x squared. Now, when you add that together, right, negative 25 plus a 15, sorry, x, I don't know why I got distracted there. My mind kind of just went frozen for a second. Negative 40x, and then there's going to be a negative 50. Okay, that was a weird feeling. Anyway, now this becomes your new dividend. What you're going to do, and again, my brain went frozen there, as you can see. Right, so what you're going to do now is take the leading term there of your divisor, and you're going to divide it on into the leading term of your new dividend. So it's going to be negative 8x squared divided then by 4x squared. And that should become just simply a negative 2, right? So that's what you plug in, negative 2. Now it's going to look like a subtraction, which it should. Okay, so it's x minus 2 now for the full quotient at the moment. But what you're going to do is you're going to take that new value of the quotient you plugged in, the negative 2, and you're going to multiply it then to each term here of your divisor. All right, and we're going to do the process again. So negative 2 multiplied by 4x squared should be a negative x squared, and if you did this correctly, it should work out to be identical. All right, then negative 2 multiplied by the positive 20 should be now a negative 40x, and then the negative 2 multiplied by 25 should be a negative 50. Then what you're going to do, remember, you got to subtract this thing. In other words, you're going to take all these signs and change them, and since they're all negative, you're going to change them into a positive. All right, and that also turns out to be some good life advice. When given negative, try to find the positive in it. And now add them on up, and notice that they're all going to go bye-bye. They're all going to cancel. All right, and you're left with 0 remainder. So guess what? This indeed is the height. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Please remember to help us out and subscribe if you can. I look forward to helping you with more problems. Check out our channel because we have thousands of problems, not only in math here, but if you're taking chemistry or physics, we'd love to help you there as well. We got your back. Take care.